If we all perfect, I just feel like that'd be a boring ass society. Like, damn, you did that so perfect. Like, everything about you is just so flawless.
If you didn't have, it's kind of like duality. You know, like hot and cold is the same. It just varies in degrees. You can't be like, there's no, this is hot. There's a boiling point. There's a freezing point. But what is the temperature where something's not hot?
Yeah.
There isn't one. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you went to school for science?
No, I didn't.
Because you throwing shit. I'm like,
No, it's just the concept of duality. Everything. There's no right or wrong. It just varies in degrees. And that's with any and everything. Yeah. So give us grace. Like, we need to give each other more grace, and we need to give ourselves more grace.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Daily Storeroom Podcast, your go-to for culture, entertainment, and mental health. I am your host, Aaila, and I have, why are you cheesing? I have I'm going to get into how we met and everything, but go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Nazri, also known as Naz or Naz. I'm an entrepreneur in the food truck business, as well as a photographer, videographer, that kind of thing.
You're so cute. Oh my God. So first I'm going to get into the story of how we met, because it was super cute when we met.
It was.
So I was outside, and you all have a food truck.
Yes. Paradiso Wood Fire Pizza. You can find us on Instagram, Paradiso_WF Pizza. Check us out. But we're kind of unique in that there's an actual wood fire oven on the truck enclosed. So when you are outside watching us make the pizza, you'll also see the oven. So that's kind of neat. There's not a lot of them in Atlanta. I don't want to say
I didn't know
we have like the only one. There's another one, but it's not like a truck.
Okay.
Truck. It's on a truck, but it's not.
So that's not a thing where if people are making pizza on a food truck that they have.
They have the actual like oven on the outside that they're kind of dragging with it, but it's not like you can go up to it and people are inside cooking in the ovens inside, if you will.
And make sure y'all go. So tell them where y'all.
So we are located like kind of all over the place. We're mobile, but if you follow us on Instagram, we post our locations. But we do events, catering. We're at food festivals. We're at breweries. We're everywhere. That's where I met her, at the brewery. So
yeah, we met at the brewery or whatever.
It is a little different because it's Caribbean style pizza. So it's like Neapolitan in the style and the taste of it, but there are a lot of Caribbean flavors and stuff like that. So that's
they got a curry pizza.
And it's curry tings. It's so good.
A curry pizza. Look at Jay. Jay wants something. They got a curry pizza. Always just stick with like an original. What I be getting?
You get that?
Now I don't eat pork, but I've dabbled in some pepperoni pizza from them. Every now and then. That pizza was bomb as shit though.
It was. I remember.
Like it was literally like one of the best pizzas I've had out here.
Cause we Shane, we got flavor.
Black owned and ran.
Very black.
Food truck. Yeah. And it's her and
my boyfriend.
Man. Her man. It's her and her man, okay? Hey. He gonna see this if he like, oh my God. No, so we met at the brewery. So I was outside. I was getting my pizza. I was going back inside of the brewery. What is the name of that brewery again?
Wild Leap.
Okay. Wild Leap in Atlanta. That's a great little spot too. But we just was like outside talking. I think we were talking about like some random shit.
We went from topic to topic.
We really did.
We were talking about video editing. Then we got on like
we were
just entrepreneurship. It been in the lack of like Atlanta. We started talking about Atlanta females. We did.
Okay.
We did because we were talking about like just kind of what was it that we were talking about? I can't remember. Oh, how fake. The fakeness.
Oh, yeah. The fakeness in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, definitely the fakeness in Atlanta, and just like, I think we had also mentioned, I think you talked about like going to that event at Camp Kirk Studios.
Oh, yeah, because
the all women's event.
Because that was really dope.
And bridging off that, because we're probably going to be all over the place. But okay, so we're going to talk about the article and everything. But so remember we were talking about like not going to certain events and stuff. That was one of the events I was supposed to go to, but I was nervous to go to it, so I didn't go. We would have met that night.
It's like that though. I don't know what it is. It's like straight up self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Because you see it and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And then as the day gets on to get to that space, you talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't have my business cards. Oh well.
And I was thinking that I was like, I don't got my cards. I didn't update my link for my thing. I said I can't go to this. I don't have nothing prepared.
I don't want them to think that I'm not for real in what I do. And it's like, just fucking go.
But I was really thinking that.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew I wanted to go. Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna do this. But then I was like, it's gonna be people there that's probably well put together. They got their shit together. I'm gonna walk in there. I can't walk into no, and that's just me, myself. Like, I feel like I can't walk into a space unless I am fully equipped. Because I don't got time for nobody saying nothing out the side of their neck. Because then I'm gonna have to beat somebody up.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But I feel like people think those things, like when you go into space, it's like, oh, she came in this space and she ain't even got.
No, because when they ask for it and you don't have it, there's that weird tension where you feel like, damn, I got to explain why I don't have it.
Just give me your number. I put it in my phone.
And you just feel like they all of a sudden be like, oh, okay.
Like, she not established.
Yes, exactly.
She ain't got shit going for her. But I was really thinking that, and I was like, I know I be having stuff established, but I still be in my head with just executing certain ideas and plans. And
I think that's another thing too. It's like, you don't have to have it all together to do. Like, you know how Nike be like, just do it sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the part that's the hardest, is just doing it and working on your feet, because you're not going to always have it together. Shit, you might not always have a business card.
Yeah. And then knowing that everyone in the room may not have it all together either. But people will make it seem like their shit is squared away.
Hello, Instagram.
Is he like this?
Highlight
Jay
reel.
is behind the cameras and he is just something. He
over
took
here
his
like
shoes
he was
off.
Crip walking or something.
He took his shoes off.
I don't know. You look like you were doing something.
He got way. This boy is cozy in here, y'all. So yeah, we met at the brewery. We were talking about all these things, and then I think I was just getting like super excited with the idea of you having a food truck, because I used to watch like the food truck wars and just food truck shows, and I always wanted a food truck. Well, I like the idea of having a food truck. I wouldn't actually have a food truck, but I like the fact that you actually have a food truck. And I was just thinking of like all of the content that you could create. So y'all, I was running down a whole list of shit she could do. I was like, oh my God, okay, we should get you to partner with Camcork Studios. And then when they have events, you can be a food truck vendor there. And then we could connect you with like,
She was really racing.
I'd be so excited. I love ideas.
But you know, I think that whole journey in itself is like, it is really hard.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea before. I have food industry knowledge, but not
permits, and
that shit is a struggle. Like, and not only that, we were kind of equipped with certain things beforehand, because my boyfriend did architectural design, so he was able to design the truck,
which is dope.
Because it's a lot of stuff you have.
Like,
to
your
do.
man does what? He was what now?
He does architectural design.
Period.
He did it.
Listen, period. Don't play with him. He designed the truck.
He did. He designed the truck. I have to brag on him a little bit.
You have to. That's some big shit. Because how many black men do you know have that background and are able to create something from the usage of their background?
And I have to point out, he's an Aquarius, so he's my little weirdo. But,
oh my gosh.
But his mind is different. Like, the way he's very innovative in how he thinks and what he, you know what I'm saying? Like, wants to get put on. Because I was like, pizza? He was like, yeah, why not? He was like, it's cost effective as a motherfucker.
Oh, he started the idea of like which to sell. Oh, okay.
Yes,
I didn't know
he started
that.
all of that. He did all of that. I came in when it was like, when the trailer was kind of gutted out and we were looking through and going through the invoices and everything and putting everything in. And then when you get a food truck in Georgia or anywhere, you have to get a commissary, which is where you actually cook the food or prep the food.
Okay.
In the state of Georgia, you have to have that. So if you get a truck and you don't have a commissary, you just are operating illegally, and you can get fined a lot of money for operating because you don't have the permits. But it was a really long process. But I was like, you know what? We should create content during all of these because it's gonna be gold one day.
Yeah,
because it's gonna be like there's nothing in the truck, and now look, there's 3 trucks, there's 4 trucks. You know.
Oh, so the goal is expansion.
Absolutely. He wants to have a brick and mortar in St. Thomas. That's where he's from.
Okay.
So that's the like major goal is to have one there.
Really excited.
Yeah.
Okay. So St. Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about one of the other tracks. It's like where we gonna put the other tracks at?
I'm not sure where he wants to go, like a franchise or whatever, but definitely more trucks because it's very lucrative, and especially via research, there's just not a lot in Atlanta at all.
So you would have more food trucks in Atlanta. Okay.
So we could take on more events.
Look at y'all about to hire people, give people employment.
Okay.
Job opportunities and experience.
Listen, we trying to, you know what I'm saying? We trying to do our thing.
That's Black greatness right there, though. When you have an idea and you implement it and you execute it well, and you're able to create opportunities for the people in your community to have something sustainable for their community. Because that's the big thing is like a lot of these communities not having resources or access to resources or access to better jobs. And you never know what your food truck can turn into with you like building connections and getting sponsors or funding. And then like having a brick and mortar here.
You know,
okay, never mind. I just got excited.
The only qualm against brick and mortar in a sense is it's like it is a lot more overhead. You got to depend on a lot more people. You know what I mean? And you don't have to pay that much for the commissary as you would have to pay for the brick and mortar and the labor and all the other things before you can actually make profit. So, I don't know. And if we want to take a month off to go to Italy or wherever we want to go, we can just dip and
I love
come
that.
back when we
I
feel like
love that.
You know, because I want to live out the country personally. But
I love that.
Yeah, I don't want to dip off on everybody.
When I tell y'all I was so inspired by her, I came back. Did I get your number the first time?
Yeah. No, not the first time. It was the second time.
I got it the second. I didn't get it the first time. Maybe I got it the second time, but I had to run it back and come and pull up on him again.
Second time. That was the second time. But
The second time we was outside for like we was talking while he was putting the truck up. We was talking for at least like an hour or so. Like, what are y'all doing? Can you help me pick up this truck? Y'all want to run y'all goddamn mouth and shit.
But it's when you find somebody genuine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that be the thing, cause like you can feel energy and like, I mean, I'll talk to people, I'm friendly, but if I catch that vibe, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? You feel warm energy, you know, that kind of.
And we connected, y'all. I knew we connected when you gave me a hug.
And you felt the hug?
And you held on to the hug. You know, usually people like hug me because like I like affection, but I don't like affection. So people hug me and be like, quick hug. And then it's like, all right, time to release the hug. You was holding on. I said, oh, she is hugging me. In my head, that's really what I was thinking. I was like, she is giving me a hug. I was like, I haven't had a hug in so long. I was like, this is kind of felt weird.
You saw the lady who was crying on social media because she was talking about how much she missed physical affection. She was literally crying because she said, I just need a hug. Like, and someone had said, well, go somewhere here. She was like, none of those people love me.
Right.
And the lack of like affection, or everybody's so hard all the time, you know. I don't know. I get.
But what happened to her online?
They
had just posted a video.
She was having a mental breakdown.
Oh, okay.
Because of the lack of touch in her life, and she didn't realize how much it was affecting her that she hadn't been hugged. She couldn't remember the last time she had been hugged by someone she loved, or somebody who cared about her, and that shit made me sad.
Because that is sad. And I feel like we don't really think about that a lot, like how we're. And I feel like because society puts us in a place where we have to be in a rustle and bustle and do this and do this. So a lot of people aren't like connecting the way that they should or having conversation the way that they should. Because I'm telling you, when you hugged me, I was like, damn, I ain't had a hug, like a hug in so long that it was like, it wasn't awkward in the sense of like, why she hugged me? It was like, damn, I forgot what a hug kind of felt like and what it means to me to be hugged by someone. Even though that was like our like second time meeting, it was such a great hug though.
I'm affectionate with people. I like hugs. You know, I mean, unless I don't like you, then I'm not. You don't exist.
Yeah.
You know, but if not, that went a little rogue. But yeah, like I feel like I know I need that.
Yeah.
I need that, and I also think after the pandemic, a lot of people I feel like were fucked up for a while.
Yeah.
Because you just don't.
You were isolated.
Isolated. Yeah. And I think that people are having a hard time either coming out of that or just in general, just the lack of actual physical connection. Because now you got remote work. On top of the remote work, you have social media. And then don't even get me started on what they're trying to do with like VR and.
Oh my gosh. It's like I understand the concept of it and why people need it, but it's honestly not.
It's starting to scare me
needed.
in a sense. Because it's just like.
Because y'all want to sit and like virtually engage with people and not see how it's impacting your actual socialization skills. Like, how are you now in a room after sitting online through these goggles for so damn long? How can you navigate a space with other people?
I feel like what we're going to see is a loss of like people being able to actually communicate. I mean, we can see it with the kids.
Yeah.
These kids, no social skills. Their social skills are terrible. They have amazing social media skills. They can work a room social media wise, but they can't come out to something where there are real people around and work the room.
Yeah.
You know, or you see them on social media, they're a social media star, but when you see them in person and interact with them, you're like
what is going on?
So much better online.
Yeah, something's up with you.
Like,
are you okay? Blink twice if you.
You're not that guy in real life. Yeah. But you online, you lit.
And that's why I don't like social media right there because motherfuckers be
capping.
Especially in Atlanta, and not even to down Atlanta, but I feel like because everyone's coming here for specific reasons, it's like you see it so much more because of what people are driving out here for. But to come out here to create or whatever you're doing or to network and to sit online and portray yourself to be a certain way, whether it's to build likes or to build a fan base online or to make money off of your brand, like you still have to maintain a level of morality in real life, like morality and depth in real life. Like, who are you outside of your social media brand? Who are you outside of your brand in general?
But see, that's the problem. I really think that all of those things for them come from social media.
Yeah.
When it should be like, I am me. I have a pillar of values and things that I hold true to, and I'm showcasing that reality to you on social media. Where for them, it's like they're just upholding an image.
Yeah.
But that's not you. It's not you, and I think it's kind of scary because everything is so social media driven. I feel like you do miss out sometimes on good people because they don't look the part for you. You know what I mean?
Especially that look the part.
Oh, that look the part shit.
They don't look like they shop at Saks, so like
they can't add any value.
They can't sit with me.
Yes.
Who do I want to sit with you anyway?
Right, you boring as hell. You do the same shit every fucking weekend.
You're fake. You're weird.
And you can be bought. So no, thank you.
And I feel like people need that reality because you're gonna end up in certain people's spaces where they're like, oh no, you can't do that over here. I won't accept you doing that over here.
You know what was interesting to me though? The men in Atlanta do it too. Like
no, they the worst ones.
Like yes, no, bitches be clocking on what kind of shoes she got on, what kind of bag she got. No, these
niggas be doing that.
These niggas be doing that, and I be really like, you really are picking this bitch off of her, like because she got on Fendi and she got on a nice bag. Guess what?
And she can't think for
herself.
herself.
On a blow up mattress.
Oh my God. She's right, because niggas don't even know where people actually live.
She has no home.
Yeah, she has no home.
She has nowhere to sit her ass. But she has a Fendi bag, and you don't even know if that's real or not.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I think that is so true because that is really Atlanta. I've seen it in person, like seeing shit like that happening
in real time, and really be sitting there.
And I really be like, did he just? Who is this nigga? Like who the fuck are you?
And all
it's
your
the
shit
brands,
rented.
it's the brands, it's the money, it's the social media, it's this whole like idea of needing to be seen and needing to be seen in a space that you create in. And I feel like with Atlanta, I feel like it's also a lot of people in Atlanta who may not actually be like photographers, right?
Oh,
I love y'all
here we
photographers. But there's so many people who will pick up a camera and be like, I'm a photographer now. And then I feel like that's like a lot of industries is when people begin to saturate a space because you want to make money off of it and not necessarily like you have a passion for the art.
Well, I think it's a lack of passion for the craft. Like, I can pick up a camera and say I'm a photographer. And I'm going to be real with you. There's no really, it just varies in degrees with the photographer because anybody can be a photographer if you want to. There's nothing that says, oh, now you're a real photographer because you've taken this many and you've become this accomplished and da-da-da-da. But it's like a lack of passion for the craft, a lack of understanding, a lack of actually putting in the work in the game, like you know what I mean? Because you be wanting something from other people, you be wanting your respect, but you ain't putting nothing in the game to be like, this is what I do, and I don't know that is another whole space.
I only dislike it because if you try to charge me, like if you're a photographer and you haven't really. Like, you're not really a photographer, like you said. Like, you don't know nothing about cameras. You just bought a random camera. You don't know nothing about cameras. You don't know nothing about, like, editing or angles of shooting or being able to give directives when you're shooting. Because I feel like there's so many things that if you enjoy the art of something, you'll want to know about every aspect of it. Yeah. So it's not just about being a photographer. It's about knowing right locations, knowing lighting, knowing like the atmosphere for the client that you're putting in place. Like you should have a working knowledge of what these things look like, especially if you want to charge people with photographers who are in that space are charging. Yeah. Don't try to charge me $300 an hour or whatever, and you don't know nothing about nothing. I'm confused on who the fuck you are trying to charge me this. I could go to the J Woods and get my shit taken. Shout out to J Woods. I just wanted to say that. Shout out to J Woods. But yeah, I can go to J Woods and do it. Like, and I feel like it's the same for any type of field. Like, I'm not gonna go. Huh?
Listen, but I was.
You said you want to charge $300 an hour? I was being sarcastic. Oh yeah, he is.
See, okay, so it kind of goes back into the imposter syndrome again, because while that is true, yes, you can also create an imposter syndrome from that because you feel like, damn, I don't know, I don't want to charge as much as them, but here, and this is another thing in the photographer world. Just because you are new at photography doesn't
you don't have to lowball yourself.
Well, not even, no, I'm saying I've seen people's work that they've done, and I've been like, you charge how much?
Because it was trash or because it was really good?
I just didn't feel like it was that great. Okay. like I was just like, I've done way better than that, and I've done way better than that. So then I get into this thought process in my head, like, am I not charging?
Right. Yeah.
Or like, at what point do I start to change my price? And then, and also the confidence in that, and also the confidence in knowing I don't know everything. There are some things that I still need to learn how to do. But should I, like, at what point do you decide to yourself, this is what I should be doing? Or
when you see somebody else work and you like, my shit way better than that. That's the point. You should do it.
Fuck. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I definitely. Because the price list for me was, I don't know why, it just, whenever somebody at first.
Get this flash. Okay, get on my nerves, and I didn't want to mess you up.
Thank you. Whenever somebody would ask me, like, oh, what are your rates or something, like, I'd be like, fuck.
When they say what? Oh, what are your rates?
Because it would just be like this. I'm trying to.
Like, are you nervous to send it to them for their response?
Yes. Okay. Like, it would be like, okay.
But nervous because it's too low, or nervous because you feel like it's too high?
Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out, is this too much? But I feel like I'm lowballing myself because when I look at all the fucking work I have to do, it's not just the fucking pictures. It's the editing and dealing with your ass.
Yeah, and the setup,
Are my pictures ready? Do you know what you asked for?
You wanted me to edit 15 photos.
Like, are they done yet? No, I just sat my ass down from taking them from you.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, It's just a lot, and I think you can get very much in your head because when you are surrounded by people or constantly on your Instagram, you become friends with other photographers, other videographers, and you're constantly seeing what they're doing, and you start to think to yourself, am I doing enough? Am I charging enough? Am I not, like in the right spaces? Am I not getting the right shots? Like, it can get kind of.
But I feel like at least you're thinking about these things, and you're not just like putting shit out there for the fuck of it, just to like get the clients. It's like you're actually processing what does this business look like for you.
Also, just don't. I mean, I like social media, but I don't like. If I didn't have to use it, I wouldn't.
I would not have I would not have Instagram, Twitter, none of that.
I've definitely done it for like a year and a half. I didn't have nothing.
That's a good amount of. Wow.
I didn't have anything, and I really felt good about it.
Yeah.
Until you need business.
Yeah. So it's like, and that's why I hate social media, because now we have to kind of plan our business and our just like ideas off of people using social media for everything, like searching for shit on social media.
I search for shit all the time on social media.
I do too.
I be like,
it makes me mad.
ATL braiding hair.
Yeah, I be doing that.
Yes. ATL faux locks. Okay, let me see. Ooh, how much?
But that's honestly how smart those platforms are, just in that sense of being able to search by like hashtags and shit.
Yeah,
because then you're able to. It's like it's faster than going on Google and searching for shit. Yeah, especially on TikTok. Well, I hate TikTok, but I've been on there to search for like restaurants and shit. Oh, because people are making content videos so that you can know what the experience is before you go.
Which is lovely. I created that concept. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to
y'all. Because I really love that y'all have tried all the dishes and I can see what looks good without.
Right, yeah. That is so true.
You know what I mean? Wasting money and knowing I don't like that shit.
But then when y'all start making all these videos, please remember that, to stay in your lane when you just come across people.
What you mean?
Because that, like what we said in the beginning, when people start building up like a platform, and then like let's say you're making content videos off of restaurants and ATL or some shit, and you're building this platform, but then you start walking around with this thing. I don't like when people get to a place and they walk around with a sense of entitlement. Oh, I really hate just people in general feeling like they are like supernatural humans, as if like because you're creating something and it's popular, then it's like now you have to be snobbish. It's like, no, what kind of person were you before you were creating this content? And then I be saying this, I think, on every episode, like at the end of it all, what can you say you had to do to get to that point? Like, what person did you have to become to get to that point? I don't want to look back and be like, damn, I was like a fucking bitch. Like, I started this podcast and it was popping, and then I started acting like a bitch to people, and it's like, it's just unnecessary to carry yourself like that.
I feel like that's what people aren't true to themselves. I mean, that like in college, like I pledged, so okay. But yeah, people will pledge. And I always said something like, before I was a Delta, I was Nazarene.
Ooh, yes,
I'm always gonna be Nazarene first. I'm never the Delta who happens to be Nazarene. I'm Nazarene who happens to be a Delta.
Right, yeah.
And I think sometimes when people are given a platform and they don't know who they are, then they let whatever the platform is become who they are, when it's supposed to be the other way around. You just, you don't need to nail you. You are the nail you. You uphold the values of being a Delta. I don't need to wear a nail you.
Yeah.
It got me.
That's a big thing, though. Even you just saying that, like the platform, would you say?
I said that people are given a platform and they're supposed to know who they are before they get the platform. When they don't know who they are before they get the platform, then they become like, what did I say? Shit. Fuck, it started to get lost.
I feel like a part of it. Like, no, y'all will catch it before I asked her what she said again. Y'all just go back, press rewind, but it was so good you saying that, because it's so true. People get on the platform and they're like, damn, like you said, I got all these followers and blah, 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 but I'm really like homeless in real life, or like, I'm just not living up to the standard that I'm putting out online.
And I also feel like, damn, like there's no transparency in being online.
Yeah.
Either. Like, bro, you cannot be good all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying
you missed the shot a few times. You just posting all the times you made the shot.
Like, I want to know something real. Like, tell me something where I'll be like, damn, okay,
Tell
I'm not the
me
only
something good.
Down,
Yeah.
down. Tell me that
You like it.
Yeah.
But seriously though, tell me, like, show me where you fuck. Which is why I like being online, and I enjoy like posting the most random shit about myself. Like, I'll post like random facts about me, like going through depression and me having anxiety and me
same.
dealing with like just stress and like previous like suicidal stuff from way back, dealing with like a lot of deaths.
I definitely had that when I
Probably
was
like
high
2000 after so both my grandparents died the same year. So probably like after
shit. Girl.
my grandmother, and then dealing with like an abusive relationship at that time. I was stressed the fuck out. But I be having to post shit like that online also because I have like my little cousins follow me. My family follows me. So it's like I can't even front when I'm online anyway because motherfuckers gonna be like, why you lying? You know that's not what you did. Like, you're fucked. Like, I wouldn't even, I mean, it's not even in me to need to cap, but like, I feel like people need to see that it's okay to deal with mental health issues as long as you're able to process it, because at the end of the day, we're all black. And if you're black and you're online or you're watching the news or you're just scrolling, there's always something triggering for us because there's always something happening for us in our community. Like, from COVID to all of the deaths and murders that that us as a community has experienced, the protests, the just everything since from fucking forever. So it's like there's no way you're not dealing with some type of stress in your household, in your community, in your school. But if you don't have people who are encouraging you to be honest and transparent with yourself, then you're really gonna miss out on like opportunities to evolve into a better version of yourself.
To heal.
And to heal.
Because you can't heal if you're not real with yourself.
Yeah.
You just putting a Band-Aid on it, hoping that will make everything better.
Yeah.
And I think the lack of transparency is where people are feeling like they always have to put on this facade every day. It's like, yo, you don't have to show up like that. You can be real. I can see you and accept you and your flaws.
Right.
Everything doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that's where this culture of things is fucked up. It's like the need to feel and be perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not life.
Yeah.
No,
And then why would you want to be?
I was gonna
Because
say
if we
that.
all perfect, I just feel like that'd be a boring ass society.
world.
Like, damn, you did that so perfect. Like, everything about you is just so flawless.
If you didn't
Why?
have, it's kind of like duality. You know, like hot and cold is the
Yeah.
same. It just varies in degrees. You can't be like, oh,
Okay.
this is, there's no, this is hot. There's a boiling point. There's a freezing point. But what is the temperature where something's not hot?
Yeah. Yeah.
There isn't one. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
so you
it's
went to
like-
school for science?
No, I didn't.
Because you throwing shit. I'm like,
No, it's
fuck
just
is
the
she
concept of duality.
hot.
Everything,
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong. It just varies in degrees, and that's with
I
any
love
and
that.
everything.
Yeah.
So, give us grace. Like we need to give each other more grace, and we need to give ourselves more grace.
That's one of my
Because
favorite words. I love that word. I just started using that word last year.
Grace.
Like a lot. Yeah.
it's
Just
floating.
give people grace and give yourself grace, because I think that's honestly the biggest thing with like dealing with just mental health things in general, and dealing with like anxiety and depression and all of the other things under those umbrellas that we all experience, is that we beat ourselves down when we make mistakes because everyone else beats us down. It's like, you did that wrong and you can't do this, or you're incapable. And I've been someone who have done that to people where I'm like, you just can't, you know, when you mad and you like, you just can't do shit right. Like
Yes.
you just, but then I've had to think about it afterwards. Like what do those words mean to someone else? And then what is that person's attachment? What are their wounds? How did me saying that just trigger something deep in them? Because I'm not thinking about it in the sense of like, me, it's like you could tell me anything. I'm not going to listen to nothing you saying regardless. Like you could tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. Like,
Right.
But it's like everyone doesn't think that same way. So I could tell someone they can't do something and it could fuck up their whole shit, where it's like,
Or
damn,
it could
I really
trigger-
can't do it.
trigger that traumatic experience
Yeah.
to take them back. And that's
Yeah.
another thing. I mean, just years of therapy and stuff like that has helped with is just understanding your triggers.
Yeah.
Because if you don't understand your triggers, then you can't
Shit
control
gonna be
your
bothering.
life.
Yeah. Everything's going to bother you.
Yeah, and you can't control when you can't even identify. That's another thing too. most people cannot identify the trigger, and then from the trigger, they can't identify where that came from, and they can't identify the defense mechanism they use for when that trigger happens.
That's big. The defense mechanism is big.
Because
people don't know, they probably don't even realize that they're doing it because they're so used to doing it for so long because they had to when they were in survival mode. But it's like, if you're triggered by something, one of the biggest things is to recognize, like, okay, am I triggered because this reminds me of a moment, or am I triggered because this is actually a moment that's repeating? Because usually it's not really repeating. Something that someone said just bothered you and took you back to that place, but you're not there presently.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to kind of find a way to snap out of that moment where it's like, okay, this is not, like, this person isn't doing this to me. They just said something that the person who did do this to me said before.
And that also goes into relationships. I remember in college, I took this, I think I told you about it, the African American male-female relationship class, right?
Oh yeah, which is a great, just
dope ass class. If you're at Georgia State, and if that lady's still teaching it, I don't remember her name, but she was amazing. She was a marriage therapist.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a dope aspect to have as a teacher. But she said you're striving or looking for what you did or did not get from the opposite parent.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's true. So when she would give different types of women, men in the black community, and it was different hearing, you know, like, oh, the clingy woman or you know, the man who has mommy issues, how that manifests into your relationship, how he want affection from you, but he won't give it to you because he don't know how, because his mama didn't give it to him, or whatever the case may be. And how much, she would say, almost like 80% of your arguments have nothing to do with that, but really your traumatic space with your opposite parent. And I was like, damn,
this shit is so true.
It's true as fuck.
That's why I said grace is important, because it do be, so it's people like you, right, who recognize what these things look like. And it helps when it helps and it doesn't help when you're in a partnership where you can recognize, or just having friendships or whatever, where you can recognize people doing those things, but you're more aware. So you kind of try to, like, hey, you know, you just kind of, you know, brush this off a little bit. And I just wanted to explore more of, you know, are you okay? Like, do we need to dive deeper? But I feel like that also just makes people uncomfortable when they feel like you can see them. You can see them in a space that they are probably trying to hide. It's like their imposter syndrome is not, you can see right through that shit, and it makes them uncomfortable.
I think it's one of them things as well. It takes one to know one. So it's like, I'm seeing you because I see myself, and we're mirrors. Whenever you attract people, it's because you're a mirror of them, even if it's not something that you like. Obviously, it's something in your life that you need to reflect on. It's trying to show you the ugly part of you right now, because this is who you're attracting. This is who you're around, and we all attract people to us, whether you like it or not, and they are there to teach you something. So being each other's mirror and being able to see that, it makes people uncomfortable because they don't want to look at themselves. I only see you because I see me. You know what I mean?
And I feel like that shit is beautiful.
Like,
I want to be seen. I want some, like, that gives me, like, that's the genuine hugs. That's the genuine love. That's the genuine connection and affection, is that you see me and you're willing to support me and give me grace and still show up for me in the capacity that I need so that I can heal and deal with all of my shit.
Because there's a lot of shit out here, man.
It's so much shit. And that's why I feel like grace is important. Like, we're all dealing with so much shit. I be so stressed out majority of the days.
And people,
because shit just be happening, and I be like, what the fuck is going on? Why is all this happening right now?
Again.
And people swear, like, I just
have the most.
My little cousins just be calling me and be like, well, because you were in the military, so they still use that as in a sense of thinking that I just have all of this money. But you were in the military, so I know that you were getting paid like thousands of dollars. So you shouldn't. They be like, why do you have problems right now? And I'm like, because I am a human and I'm existing in a space that is creating problems for me. I got bills. These bills are stressing me out.
Bills. We all are going through our own thing, regardless of how. And that's the thing I hate, because you can be on my social media and be like, oh, you know, you just having this fucking best life. Like, for example, I used to be a flight attendant, and people just
period.
You know, they would see and be like, oh, she going here.
You be on trips.
They think that shit's sweet.
It's not. Flight attendants be stressed out.
No, nigga, I want to go to bed. I want to actually be able to have a routine. I want to actually be able to like commit to going to pole class on Wednesday, and I can't. You know why?
Because I may got a flight.
Go to Bozeman or some shit. And it don't even be like, they be forgetting, like, no, we go to Birmingham. Like, we have a layover in Birmingham. Like,
you gotta chill there a little bit.
Going to China and leaving China at 1 p.m. and getting to Atlanta at 2 p.m.
Oh, wow. I mean, I would be tired. That's why I couldn't do it, just because of the long-ass flights.
That's what I mean. Like,
and carrying shit and walking through the airports. I don't have time for that.
And it would be a lot. And I think that first year I got really depressed doing it because I was away from everybody. And it seems cool until you don't control it. You know what I'm saying? You get up at 3:30 because you got a flight at 5. You got to be there at a certain time, or every holiday. Like, I remember my dad came with me to London, and we were at this little Christmas market. He was just coming with some sodas, and I just started bawling. I just started breaking down.
Crying.
He was like, what's wrong? I was like, you're really here. Like, you don't understand. All these holidays, I'm alone. Like, I'm somewhere nice, but I'm alone.
Yeah, you're alone.
Everybody with their family, and I'm like sitting here like a tourist wherever the fuck I'm at. So that was like really nice.
I love that though. Yeah. Just the openness to being like, this is not the move. Because people do, I mean, because I used to think that about flights. I'm not going to lie. It's like, oh my God, these motherfuckers is living the life. Just traveling. But then I was like, damn, that's stressed. I would be stressed out because I need stability.
And even a relationship. That was another thing.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
It's like, you know, you come back from a trip and your dude wants you to be like present.
Like, I'm fucking tired of shit.
Like, I need a day to decompress, literally, because I've been having to be fake as fuck for
on the flight.
Hello.
I be knowing they fake every time they smile at me. I'm like, you want to get off this plane so bad, so fucking. That is so funny.
To you saying nothing, man. I don't care what
y'all really
about.
don't. Damn.
With a smile.
But I think it's interesting though that you've navigated through different entrepreneurial business types of things, because to go from like being a flight attendant to now having your own food truck is
see, I've always had like a background in food. Like my very first job was in food. And I've always kind of like been somewhere in that mix. So it wasn't and a lot of the stuff I'm doing I saw other people do, like kitchen managers, people like that, but I didn't really care because I wouldn't get paid to do that, and they wasn't paying me no money to do that. So I just did what I needed to do and go. So now I'm getting to see things from a more responsible, like food costs and stuff like that. So that's a little bit interesting. But I feel like, have you ever seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, but that title sounds so familiar.
Yo, y'all got to see that movie. Like,
Everything Everywhere. I feel like you mentioned that before.
Yes, it is a movie that is literally based on what it says. It's basically saying everything in your life, every single moment you've ever had in your life leads you up to everything that you have now. Any insignificant. You ever learned a very insignificant fact that you just thought, you have it locked in your brain somewhere, but you never thought you would ever use it again.
Yeah.
All
them Snapple facts.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, one day something happens and you realize that one thing you learned wasn't insignificant at all. It was everything that mattered in this moment right now. And so on the movie, it takes you on a journey, but it's like interconnected. So they're different, it's cross-sectional interrelationships, if you will. There's a mother and her daughter. There's the mother and the husband, or the wife and the husband together. And it's showing you different past events in their life, future events in their life, and present events in their life. Okay. And it's showcasing how those little small things that happen to them at different times make everything for right now and the future. It's a good movie.
I like that concept.
It's a really good
I definitely got to watch it, because I like shit like that. That makes me think about things that I've thought about before. Because I would always wonder that, like, there's certain words that I'll, and this may be a tourist thing, because I've seen what I'm about to say online before, and I'm like, damn, is this just like what Tauruses do? Y'all, I love being a Taurus. It's honestly the greatest sign ever. But anyways, no offense to y'all.
No, my moon's in Taurus, so I'm like, yeah.
It is?
Yeah, my moon's in Taurus.
Did you tell me this before?
I don't know.
Your moon's in Taurus?
My
wow.
Scorpio's my rising.
Wow, because Scorpio is a Taurus sister sign. Yeah. Dang, that's probably why that hug was so deeply felt. That makes so much sense.
I always attract Taurus.
Yeah, we're gonna be best friends.
Yeah.
But like it's certain words that I would just know. Like I'd be like either typing something where I would say something and a word would come out and I'd be like, like what made me use that word? And I'll Google it and I'm like, damn, okay, I used that word correctly, but I don't remember learning the word or like seeing the word. And I feel like it's from me probably going through like different books and reading shit or doing research and just seeing words. Yeah. But then not really, well, I guess unconsciously not resonating with the word, but then consciously using it later on in life. I feel like that's what that movie will have me.
It will really
think about.
It had me crying. It had me thinking because it was just like you go through so much in life and you don't know how much of it you will be used later until you get to that moment and you realize, oh shit, I only know how to do this because I had that one fuck up 12 years ago that I never thought I would use again, but today it saved me because of that one thing, that one experience where I was never do that again. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So I will never do that again.
Never. You know, just like when you said you didn't have an SD card.
Yeah, I need to make sure I get one. I ordered it though. As soon as I showed him which one it was, I ordered this shit.
Cause you'll have that thing happen to you and be fucked and be like, damn.
No, because honestly, it's happened multiple times where like not having a camera, and then at some point I was like, okay, I'm gonna just order a camera. And I think they were like, you ordered a camera? I was like, yeah, I ordered a camera because I feel like if I need it, if that's my execution thing, if I need it to get to this, I will fucking buy it. I do not fucking care. It's unnecessary, and I'm so happy to have my camera now. It looks so nice over there. Look at my baby.
This is the camera, y'all. Just FYI.
Yeah, it's this one. The one that's looking at this beautiful young lady right here.